What's going on? What's going on? No, I decided I was going live for a second. I'm gonna go live here real quick. See if I can adjust my color right here real fast. We're gonna get into it, good folks. Give it a minute. Let folks come on in, jump on in while we do us. And I'm gonna adjust this color real fast. What's going on? If you're chiming in, you're jumping in, man, let me know you're in the house. We got some time we're gonna spend together while I adjust this color, because I know y'all don't want to sit up there looking at that doggone blue like that this whole time. We're gonna get into it. So if you're chiming in right now, do me a solid. Any questions that you have, go ahead and add them too. There we go. That's much better. Go ahead and add them on, and I'll go ahead and make sure we address them, because right now what we're gonna touch into and we're gonna get off into is really, what it takes. I put a lot of videos out breaking down different methods and whatnot, but let's really get down to the meat and potatoes of what it actually takes to be successful and actually make money selling cars. And 9 times out of 10, if you're on this video, you've been online, you've been searching different stuff, and you've probably heard a number of different people say different things, right? And then if you got all of these so-called experts saying this way, that way, and this way, sometimes you get caught up in the mix and you really don't know which way to go, who to follow, and what works. The internet has done several things. A, it made information available at our fingertips, but B, it also gave us so much information that sometimes you really don't know who to trust, what to actually try, and what works. And then you might find something that you feel works and you go back to your dealership and you share it with somebody, especially if they're an older person that's stuck in their ways, and they'll shoot it down. So a couple of real quick tips I'm gonna give you that'll help you break down when you're looking for the information. How do you know whose information should you follow? How do you know what processes you should actually go with? Because the worst thing a person can do is they just believe that there's any 100% way to do any one thing, and there's not. There's multiple ways to get to the end result, which is helping this person make a smart, safe buying decision. But again, while you're all searching for the information, that can be a little bit challenging. One thing I always stress to people is this. You have some people who put information and materials out, and it's like you never ever see them in front of a group of people. You never see them at a dealership. You never see them in front of an actual class, but yet they're giving you these tips on what you should do and how you should operate. First thing you should do, make sure that anybody whose information you're watching and that you're listening to, that they actually show you proof in their videos or on their channel that there are people that actually invest in them for their expertise. There are people that bring them in. It's like myself. If you've been on my channel, which I can tell by the names that are in here, a lot of you have, is that I'm all over the United States, and I take footage at all of the dealerships I'm at. I have so much that I don't even throw it all up there all the time. But then at times like right now, this week, I'm taking this week off, and next week my mother's flying in on Saturday. We're going to Orlando. We're going to hit all of the Disney amusement parks and whatnot and have a good time and hang out. But I typically show you all over the country where I am. And why do I do that? It's to show credibility, to let people know the information I'm sharing with you is not just perceived as good by intelligent people like you, but you have these major corporations that are investing, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for this information that I share with you to be brought into their store. So what is it? When we break it down to its simplest form, what does it really take in order to make money selling cars at dealerships? Let me tell you, number one, most people that jump into it never had a vision, never had a dream of wanting to be in automotive sales. A lot of times it's either a person's been unemployed and they keep looking online and they see an opening at a dealership, or they had a friend or somebody they knew who had got into it and they say, listen, man, if they can do it and make some money, I can do it. And when folks jump into it, think about it like this. If you and I would have met before you started working at your dealership, and I would have asked you, hey, what do you think about people that sell cars? You know what the typical response is? Shady, can't trust them, liars, keep your wallet or your purse near you because you don't know what they're going to do. And as unfortunate as it is, that was a very good perception, because prior to the internet, a customer didn't know what the dealership up the street or across town was doing deals for. They had to trust that sales consultant they were dealing with. And if that sales consultant had to choose between paying a mortgage and being honest, their mortgage used to win out more than being honest. And so the person drives off the lot and they feel like they got shitted on. And some of them cases they did, and that bad taste stays in their mouth. Or they also go to a dealership and they deal with the salesperson that's super pushy, that's trying to pressure them into making a decision when they want it, as opposed to when the guest is ready. The guest comes in saying they're looking for one thing, but the sales rep spends the whole time trying to sell them on something else. They never talk to them about anything personal. They never ask them any questions about them. They only show or give off the perception that, hey, they're only there to close a deal and take their money, and they can care less about it. Okay? These are the things that people are dealing with, and you yourself may not be that way, but I am here to tell you that at dealerships across the country, you have sales reps who can give a shit less about helping any guest. They can care less about liking this person. The only thing they care about is making money off of this person. And when your only concern is making money off somebody, as opposed to genuinely helping somebody and then doing a business exchange, meaning I'm providing you high value and service in exchange for monetary compensation. If it's anything other than that, one party is going to lose. And when any part of the equation loses, that's a bad thing, because yeah, the sales rep got a deal, but they'll never ever get a chance to deal with that person again. Okay, so let's break it down. One is the misperception when people get into this business. You have folks that sing these dreams. They sell people a dream and deliver them a nightmare. They have people believing that, oh yeah, everybody that walks in will make $100,000 a year. They'll all sell 20 units a month and yada, yada. And that's untrue. So when you're getting into this business, or one of the things that help you stay in it and succeed is the one, realize you might have had a vision or a dream to be something totally different. You could have wanted to be a pharmacy tech. You could have wanted to be an author. You could have wanted to write movies. You could have wanted to be a musician, whatever that is. But now you're at the dealership. So how can we use this to maybe help us accomplish that? Because let's be real, even though sales is my life, this is what I do. I am passionate about my craft. And everything I do involves my continuation of my growth and my development and my knowledge and experience. And one thing I stress to people is, yes, the reason why I make the money that I make is because I fully dedicated myself, or should I say, I dedicate myself to my craft. Because selling is an art. It is a real science. Selling is a real science. People buy 90% based off emotion and back it up with 10% logic. And this is why so many people in sales fail, because there is a misperception. People believe that sales is about persuading somebody to do something. It is not. People think it's about pressuring people. It's not. As intelligent as you are, you may have a brand new cell phone right now. And if I have another cell phone, but yet yours is working perfectly fine, you're happy and you love it, but I have a nice looking cell phone here, the odds or the probability of me being able to sell you and convince you to buy my phone, even though you don't have a need for it, is slim to none. Okay. But if you have a slight interest or greater, and I have this phone, this option, and you do have a slight to a great need, it significantly increases and improves the chances that you and I may be able to do some business. Okay. So first thing, realize when you're getting into this is that selling is a real art, or if you're doing it, selling is a science. The thing about it is, it's something that we've been doing our whole life. Every human being, you, myself, our parents, our grandparents, every human that's ever been born on this planet is born into sales. We can't escape it. And here's what I mean. When a baby cries, trying to be picked up, be fed, or have a diaper change. Any relationship you've ever been in, you were not the only person that thought this other person was attractive. You were one of many, but yet when you spoke to them, you sold yourself to them, and they said, you know what? I'd like to be in a relationship with them, get married with them, start a family with them. Any previous place of employment you've ever been at, you were not the only candidate that applied. You were one of hundreds, if not thousands. But yet when you went in and they met with you, you sold and presented your skills in a manner where they said, we get the highest rate of return on our investment by hiring them. I mean, even going out to eat lunch, and you know how it is at the dealership, going out to eat lunch with somebody, and the thing back and forth is, hey, where you want to go? Oh, I don't care where you want to go. So the person says they want to go to Burger King, but you say, let's go to Five Guys, man. They got way fresher and better burgers, and their fries are better. And the person says, okay, guess what? That was a sale. Even sitting in a room by ourselves saying, man, I'm not doing anything today. I'm just kicking back. We have just sold ourselves that it's better to sit there than it is to get productive and get out and do something. So if you realize sales is something we can never escape, to break it down even further, unless you want people to believe you're a liar, every time we open our mouth, we're selling a perspective, a point of view, or an opinion of some kind. Okay, so make sure you do realize as you're getting into it is that sales is something that you've already been in, it's something you've already been doing. It's not something you were hired for. What you were hired for is your personality, your personal characteristics that they feel or they perceive will be of value to the customer base that comes in that store. Okay, because good salespeople aren't born, great salespeople aren't born. They're literally created and they're made. So one misconception that people have when they come into it is like they get nervous when they're sitting on the other side of that table and they have to speak with people. They get nervous when they have to go out and ask this person for their business. Because we all fear, at one point I feared it too, but a lot of people fear that powerful 2-letter word, which is no, no. That freaks people out. And so what you have to do, once you realize that no, because I just said it, and guess what? It didn't hurt you at all. One thing you have to realize, it is just a 2-letter word. Okay, that's all it is. The word no won't make you fall on the ground, won't hurt you, won't kill you. Okay, now realize this though, the word no has never been mixed up with anything positive, okay, with the exception of say no to drugs. But other than that, when somebody's saying no, it's typically them shutting something down, okay? So when we get ready to go interact with people in sales, nobody likes rejection. It hurts people. And so you want to realize this one thing. When we get involved in this business, in this game of selling vehicles, big ticket items, you speak to strangers each and every day of your life. When you're walking in the grocery store, if you're just walking down the street saying good morning to somebody, a phone call you get from some either wrong number or from a company trying to find out where you are because they want to either clear up a debt or get you some money or whatever it is. So it's something that we do. But yet when we get involved at the dealership, somehow our nerves kick up. And it seems like our ability to just have a conversation gets minimized. And really understand this. It is nothing more going on when a guest comes into your store than two individuals, two adults, having a conversation, exchanging information, working towards a common goal, which is to help this guest make a smart, safe buying decision and get what they're looking for at your store. That is all it is. When you engage with a guest, it is never a you against them or them against you. This is why the way you sit is so important. When you bring a guest into the dealership, if you're making a mistake of sitting them directly across the table from you, that is an error. Because think about it, when two fighters are about to fight, they make them stand facing each other. When two basketball teams are about to play, they're facing each other. Football teams, the same thing, same way. Even in politics, the Republicans and the Democrats, they do what? They sit across from the aisle from each other. So when you have a table or a barrier that is in between you and your guests without you even realizing, subconsciously, there's a barrier created in between you and them. So when you sit down, because remember, sales is psychological. So when you sit down with the guest, as opposed to having that barrier right there in front of you, make sure that you angle your chair or you slide it over where it's closer, more so being on their side than it is away from them, okay? What this does, it minimizes that barrier in between the two of you. And it gives the perception that you are more on their side than not. So never sit directly across from your guests. Always, when you sit them down, move your chair over slightly closer towards their direction. So it'll give the perception, the subconscious feeling that you are more on their side than you are away from them, okay? And then when you're sitting down with them, remember, it's just a conversation. Now, what is it about this conversation that really freaks people out? What freaks people out is the fact that they say they don't know what to say. And if you really think about it, ask yourself this: when you went into a place and bought your vehicle, or if you were, or if your mother went in, how would you want somebody to treat them? Would you want them to just sit them down and start drilling them and interrogating them like they were held up by the law? Or would you like somebody that just acts like a human being, that genuinely wants to help somebody? See, we get so caught up in the sales part that we forget we're in the people business. Vehicles are what's on the lot, but the business that we're in is the people business, okay? And so, the scary part about sitting down, interacting with people, that only comes from not really knowing what to say. Let's face it, you go into a dealership, they give you this one-page info sheet, and then it has these things on it. Give me first name, last name, email address, telephone number, yada, yada, yada. Do they have a lien on the vehicle? How much they owe? All of this stuff. But the one thing that information sheet or the guest sheet, whatever you call it at your store, the one thing those guest sheets are missing is the personal questions. You see, no matter if you work at a Ford, Chevy, Nissan, Mercedes store, I can guarantee you this. If you go to every other store that has the same brand as you in your city, in your state, or in this country, one thing you'll find is on the new side, everybody has exactly the same stuff. Okay. Now on the pre-owned side, things do vary a little bit. What's up, Emmanuel? What's up, Pat? What's up, Sean? Nandu, what's up? I just want to give some shout outs, let y'all know I see you. Everybody has the same stuff. So what is it that motivates a guest to do business at your store versus another one? A lot of people believe it's about price, but that's another misconception. Because think about yourself. We've all spent more money for something than we needed to. And we'll do it again. Why? Because we felt the value was worth it. Okay. And what you'll find is that the average customer back in the day, let's say 15 years ago, they would go from 7 to 10 different dealerships before they bought, because there was no internet like that. And, or even if it was, people weren't really using it like that. So they will bounce around to 7 to 10. Now people go to 1.5. Now here's a real trippy statistic. Do you know that 80% of the people, 80% want to buy, oh, let me get my camera right. 80% of the people want to buy from the very first dealership that they go to. 80%, that means 8 out of 10 want to buy from the very first dealership that they stop at. So if that's the case, how do we end up at this 1.5 statistic of how many stores people go to? And let me explain to you what the 1.5 means. That means they go to a store and then they'll go to another one. So on average, people will visit 1.5 stores, okay? 1.5 stores. But 80% want to do business at the very first one they go to. And you know what causes them to leave? Without us even realizing it's us. You see, when these folks, one thing I do with my new trainees when I'm at dealerships is I send them out on secret shoppers at the end of the very first day. Because everybody believes they know what's going on. Everybody thinks they grasp some of the techniques and concepts that I share in the training. They fully don't until they do this part of the session, which is where they have to go out acting like a customer at a dealership, okay? And I have them watch how they're approached, how they're greeted, how long they had to wait, what questions they were asked. Were they really genuinely trying to find out who they were, or were they just trying to sell them something? But do you know that over 95% of the time, when people came back, they weren't introduced with a name, their hands weren't shaking, they were never invited inside. The person just started bouncing them around car to car, never asked them any personal questions, had no idea about what they did for a living. And when it was all said and done, since everything was on the lot, made it extremely easy just for the person to jump in their vehicle and leave. Okay. Now, the reason why we send people out is because I want you to fully grasp and really understand what a customer's mentality is like when they get to you. They're expecting you not to shake their hand. They're expecting you not to be very polite. They're expecting you not to invite them in. They're expecting you to just try to sell, and force stuff on them. That's what they're expecting. And so when a customer goes to 2 different dealerships, has 2 different bad experiences, the only way they can rate which one is the best option, then it becomes about price. When both of the experiences that they have suck, the only way that they can choose or make a judgment call on what the best option is, and when it boils down to price. And when it only is about price, guess who loses? You do. Hey, if y'all in the building, man, hit that like button. Appreciate everybody taking time. Come on out. We get these likes up and we help other winners like us continue to improve their skills. Okay, so at the end of the day, making sure that we really keep that in mind, okay? So today's consumers, when they come into your store, they're expecting you to treat them like crap. They're expecting you not to care about them. They're expecting you to be rude. Now, this is why I stress the fact that little things mean a lot. This is why the importance of when you go out to greet a customer, shaking their hand and introducing yourself first and welcoming them to your store. If you ask, can I help you? Most customers are programmed to say, no, I'm just looking. And we know that they're not in the looking phase anymore. You know why? Because they're physically at your dealership. They're in the action phase. You must know that when a person is physically there, they got up, they got dressed, they got in the vehicle, and they drove there. That's no longer in the just thinking phase. You're in the doing phase, all right? So they've already made it easier for us by coming in. So now we have to realize that they're looking for little things to disqualify us. They're looking for little chinks in your armor. How do your clothes look? Do you look like you can afford the product yourself? Does your face look like you enjoy where you work? Does it look like you just rolled out of bed after having a long night drinking? Or are you groomed up, look like you're ready to perform? They're looking for anything about you to dislike you or anything about you to prove the crap that they read on the internet was the truth. And that's another thing. Please know that most people go online now, and if you go to YouTube or Google and you type in how to avoid being ripped off buying a car, it will blow your mind how many thousands of videos it is on how to avoid being ripped off buying a car. And do you know who makes these videos? Customers. And you would think just disgruntled customers. No, it could be a customer that got everything they wanted at the price they wanted, but they're pissed off because they didn't get the free floor mats that they wanted thrown in. So they'll go in and they know how to get a dealership or get a business where it hurts now. Go online and just type a review. Or when that survey comes around, they'll straight screw you on the survey. Okay? Customers are going online, arming themselves to be prepared to come in because they're expecting battle with you. But we don't do battle. We're consultants, which is why when they show up to your lot, you allow them to get out of their vehicle as opposed to being a vulture pouncing on their car door. And when you greet them with a handshake and a very pleasant look and say, hey, welcome to AB Dealership. My name is Brian, and you are? Well, I'm going to give you my name, and I'm going to say, and you are, and I'm expected to roll back off. Why? I want you to know my name to be personal. B, I want to get your name so we can be personal, all right? Plus, we love our name, okay? And sometimes when somebody's talking to you, their mind can be drifted. And when you use that name in a conversation, it can center them home. That's why it's important to use a name. Now, the next kicker is when somebody gives you their name, write it down. How often have you ever been introduced to somebody and forgot their name in the first 30 seconds? How often have you been working with a customer and told you forgot their name? And little things like that will put a real bad taste in somebody's mouth. And guess what? They'll pay you back at the end when they get you to just chop down. You couldn't even remember my name. Okay, I'm going to get you back. No, I'm going to do more than remember your name. I'm going to address you the right way, and I'm going to show you how important you are to me. The objective is to help people feel like Fortune 500 CEOs. That's really what it is. So when we greet them with our name, we get their name. Okay, write it down, but ask first. Hey, do you mind if I jot this down? I just want to make sure I address you the right way. Transparency is the best policy. If we leave it up to a customer to wonder what we're writing, and we say, hey, my name is Brian, and you are? And they give us the name, and we just start writing stuff, put it back in our pocket. You know what they're saying? Are they doing a credit out? What's that they're doing? We don't want that. You want to be transparent the entire way. Because if you leave it up to a guest to decide if what you're doing is to help them or hurt them, they're going to believe you're trying to hurt them. And that's not what's up. You have to be transparent. And people think this is an extra step. No, it's just the way you are. It's just what you do. You do more than fill your space. That's how winning is done. It's not doing the least we can get away with and hoping nobody finds out. That's what losers do. Because, yeah, we might hide it we know the reality deep in ourselves, and it will torment us. Do you know the number one reason why people struggle with anxiety and depression? It's because deep down in their heart, they know that they could be doing more. They know that they're meant for more, but they just don't know how to get there. And a lot of times our egos get in the way. With so many things going on around us in society, everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. And it's almost like in today's era, being intelligent isn't cool anymore. It's almost like the more ignorant a person is, the more likable they are. But at the end of the day, the last time I checked, it's not so much about likability as it is profitability. And it doesn't matter to me if a whole lot of people dislike me. If what I'm doing is helping change the lives of other people, I'm being compensated handsomely for it, and I'm able to live a good lifestyle. Some people are so programmed to a poverty mindset that making money makes them feel bad. There's got to be something wrong. I've even seen people quit at a dealership because they made $900 on the deal. It wasn't even like an astronomical thing. They made $900 on the deal. They quit because they felt bad. Little did they realize is they never stole anything from this person. They just provided them a service so well that the individual or the individuals felt like they were getting an excellent deal. And that's the name of the game. Okay, but you only get that by doing the little things in a big way. So when they give us their name, we write it down out of respect, giving them the utmost. And then we want to confirm, hey, are you here to see anybody in particular, or is this your first time here? First time here, thank you so much for coming out. You made an excellent choice. So now we thank them and we complimented their intelligence. Folks, if you want to know the psychology behind being successful in sales, take it from somebody that played the game on the floor just like you and sold their way out. Now, I'm hired and brought in by the biggest and the best dealer groups all over the country and interacting and consulting with different ones around the world. Why? Because it works. People think it's just this new process. It's not. It's the way things always should have been. But a lot of times people just don't know. And the fact that you're here, eager to learn, now you're knowing. Okay, so we got that name, we jotted it down. Hey, are you here to see anybody in particular? It's the first time here. First time here. Hey, listen, thank you so much for stopping in. You made an excellent choice. Now, which one of our vehicles can I get you some information on? Not what are you interested in buying today? Not none of that. Not what are you here for? No. Which one of our vehicles would you like some information on? The key word in that sentence is information. You know why? Information is non-threatening. And think about it like this. In order to make an educated decision, don't they need the information? Right. But you'll go to a dealership again with these secret shoppers. You have sales reps asking about credit on the lot, asking if they're looking to buy something today. And if you take an intelligent person that's driving into a dealership that says, I'm not buying anything today, the second they hear the salesperson bring up the word buy or today, pressure is on, defense is up, they're getting out of there. Because another statistic show, did you know that 85% of the people who drive home, who showed up at a dealership and drove home in a new vehicle that same day, 85% would have told the sales rep that they were just looking, they were just shopping, and they weren't doing anything today. But yet 85% of them drove home in something. So what does that mean? Those are nothing more than barriers. They're defensive walls that are put up there that we help them create. So we just want to, hey, welcome them to our dealership, introduce ourselves with our name, get their name, ask permission. You mind if I jot that down? So I want to make sure I address you the proper way. Once they give that, hey, are you here to see anybody in particular? Or is this your first time here? First time here, awesome. Thank you so much for stopping in. You made an excellent choice. Now, which one of our vehicles can I get you some information on? Okay. Now they may say, let's say you're at Ford store and they say the Ford F-150. Awesome. Well, as you can see, we have several options available. So let's do this. Follow me inside. I'm just going to ask you a few questions and I'll get you all the information on the F-150. That way, in the future, when you're ready, you got all the information you need to make a decision. Let's go. So now think about it. If a person's ever asking about information on a new vehicle, I can guarantee you that you have several options available. So it's the truth. And to help you find the one that's going to work best for them, the best thing they need to do is follow you inside so you can ask them a few questions and you will get them all the information. But think about that. Rather than saying, hey, what are you interested in buying today? At F-150, let's do this. Follow me on the side. We'll see if we get some numbers together and see what we get to make it work for you. Whoa, we are already putting defensive flags up. Would we like them to drive home into that day? Of course. But sales is psychological. So let's think about what I said, though. All right, listen, you here to see anybody in particular, or is this your first time here? First time here. Really? That's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping in. You made an excellent choice. Which one of our vehicles would you like some information on? The Ford F-150. Excellent. Well, as you can see, we have several options available, so let's do this. Follow me on inside. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'll get you all the information on the F-150. That way, in the future, when you're ready, you got all the information you need for your decision. Now, you may say, Brian, why in the world would you tell them, that way in the future, you have all the information ready for their decision? Because when is the future? 1 second from now, 5 seconds from now, 5 minutes from now, an hour from now. That is the future, folks. But think about psychologically what it does to that guest. Think about how relaxed they become when you tell them, hey, I'll get you all the information. That way, in the future, when you're ready, you got everything that you need to make a decision. Think about what they say. Oh my goodness, they're not trying to sell me anything. Oh my God. A lot more relaxed, a lot more willing to do business with you. And again, it's the downright honest truth, because the future is 5 seconds from now. It is 5 minutes from now. And there are folks out there that I call they try to be moral police. And one thing I say is that I disbelieve in lying, misrepresenting, or taking advantage of anybody. But I do believe in what I call the reduction to ridiculous, where you really break things down to the elementary compound and make it easier for people to digest. All right. So now when you're bringing this person in, the very first thing you want to do when you bring them in is offer them, would you like coffee, water, hot chocolate? We have an awesome machine over here that can get you some really, really good hot beverages, or would you just like a plain old cold water? Okay, offer them would they like coffee or water rather than would you like something to drink? Because that is a close-in question. Remember, close-in question is yes or no. And the only time you should ask a close-in question when you know the only logical response is yes. So do you want something to drink? We run a 50% chance of them saying no. And remember, no is never associated with things positive. But when we pulled it out, would you like any coffee, water, hot chocolate, latte? Now we've given them options. And you know what the typical response is? Oh, I'm fine, or I'm okay, or I'm good, okay? So the reason why we're offering them that before we sit them down is under the law of reciprocity, which means to reciprocate. The more things we can give to our guests increases the likelihood that whenever it's time for us to receive something from them, the likelihood of them doing it goes way up. Why? Because we gave something to them first. It is ingrained in us as human beings. Think about that. If you got that friend or family member that you've always been there for, whenever they needed you, you had their back. But then one time comes where you need them and they can't do it, we get fighting mad. Why? Because it's ingrained in us that we believe when we do right by others, they'll do right by us. That's why it hurts so much when we get crossed, when somebody manipulates us, when somebody does something wrong, especially when we've been giving them our real, true, loving self. It can be hurtful, okay? But in a selling situation, the more things you can give to this guest, the more respect you can give, the more you can listen. You want to offer them a beverage, the more of your attention that you can give to these folks. When it's time for them to give it back, it increases. So now when you're sitting them down, the worst thing you could do is turn that computer screen to you and start trying to type their information in the system. Here's why. They're sitting with you, so nobody else can take that deal from you if they're sitting there. And number two, you will put the information in before you leave to go get with the manager and select the vehicle. But right then when you initially sit it down, it's not relevant. You don't even really know what they're looking for yet. And so now you got this guest looking at the back of your computer screen, wondering what you're doing, Mr. Car Salesman, sleazy stranger. And so again, if you leave it up to their mind, guess what they're going to believe? You're trying to hurt them rather than help them. So sit them down, leave that computer where it is. And let's think about it like this. If somebody wrote you a handwritten letter, sat down and wrote it out to you and mailed it to you, or they typed one up on Microsoft Word, signed it and sent it to you, which one of those would mean more to you? The handwritten one, probably. You know why? It was more intimate. It took more time. You feel like they invested more of themselves into something for you. And so imagine when you sit a guest down, even if you have that information sheet, number one, you should begin to memorize or get to know what information is needed on that sheet. But number two, flip that doggone sheet over and start taking notes. As opposed to just filling in blanks, imagine flipping that sheet over and filling in notes. And before you write one thing, when you sit them down, you ask them, do you mind if I take some notes? Why? We don't want to leave anything to chance for them to wonder what we're writing. I want you to know, hey, do you mind if I take some notes? I just want to make sure I get everything that you share with me accurate because it's extremely important to me. What? Oh my God. What is the person going to say? No, you better not write that down. You better not make me important to you. No, that's stupid. And guess what? We're showing them, you got my undivided. I'm here with you. It's all about you right now. You start writing those notes and then you learn how to ask layered questions. Now, this is where people really, kind of struggle a little bit because you know the information that they want on that info sheet, but those info sheets aren't very personal. And so what questions do you actually ask that can help you get real information about them? What they're there for, what they really going to use. Are they married? How long they've been married? What type of cool things they like to do? Just to get learning them. These are questions that really, really, really are so important, but very few ever have them, okay? And you want to learn how to use what's called layered questions. It's like when I train, the very first question after, hey, do you mind if I take some notes? I just want to make sure I get everything you share with me right because it's extremely important. Oh yeah, awesome. So are you looking for something for business or personal use? Personal use, really. So it's going to be your daily driver. Yeah, to and from your place of business. Yeah, that's awesome. What type of work do you do? So now I was able to get right off into what type of work you do. For real? Oh man, that's cool. How long you been doing that? Yada, yada. Oh, I've been doing it for 2 years. Oh man, how did you get involved in something like that? And they may answer that. Now, what did you do prior? Now, you may think these are just frivolous questions, but think about what I just asked. What he did for a living, how long was they on their job? It was only 2 years, so I want to know what you did before that. Why? To give me an idea of your ability to be able to pay. But at the same time, I really am learning about you. I really am, okay? So you want to learn how to use layered questions. And that was if they said it's for personal use. Guess what? If I say, are you looking for something for business or personal use, and they say business, awesome. What type of work do you do? I can still lead right back into it. So it doesn't matter if they say personal, I say, oh, okay, that's cool. It's going to be your daily driver to and from your place of business. Yeah. Okay, well, what type of work do you do? Or if they just say business, what type of work do you do? Okay. Learning how to use layered questions as you go through. And there are a number of very, very good questions that really draw on information. When you're with your customer, you should know this much about them and they know that much about you, because it's not about you. It's about them. And some sales reps have diarrhea of the mouth. And if you believe this customer doesn't know that it should be about them, they'll show it to you later on when they try to beat you down on price, or they leave. You made it easy for the next person to pick up your deal. We don't do that. We do the little things in a big way. Asking those personal questions are critical. And if you don't have them, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to ask, that can be an issue, all right? But after you get them to share with you all of the information you're going through, it's kind of like when you're going through it, and one thing sales reps do, they say, hey, well, what do you want to pay a month? What type of payments, would you like? Now, when you ask a guest what type of payment would they want, they're never going to give you a real life monthly payment that's going to be able to get what it is that they really want. If you run into those that have done it, then God bless you. But for the most part, people are going to try to do what we do as a consumer. A consumer's job is to go in and get as much as they can, coming out of as little as they can. And everybody tries it. Everybody tries it. But when you ask them what type of payment they want, guess what they remember in their mind when they give you that number? She asked me what I wanted. I told them what I wanted. So when it comes out and it's different, they have a reason to resist. But it really a good way that you want to phrase that is there's a number of them, and I won't get into the long one. There's a long one that I share with those that are in the, I have a Platinum Inner Circle Mastermind where we really go deep, deep, deep. And these are for those who, some people want to make 50, 60,000 a year. Some people are cool with that. But then there are others who really are on this $100,000 a year kick. We actually just had a session this morning, but for them, we kind of go deep into next level type of methods where you can not only hit big numbers as far as units move, but you really start holding that gross in. But when you talk to somebody about payment, there's some key words. Listen, what type of monthly budget are you hoping to stay around? Now, think about what I just said. I said, what type of monthly budget? Number one, I never use the word payment. Payment is one of those trigger words. Payment is a negative word. And if you really think about it, what a person pays for their vehicle is their automobile budget. Now, it might be lumped in with the household budget, but that is your monthly budget for your vehicle. And so my thing is, what type of monthly budget are you hoping to stay around? So one, the word hoping and stay around, So let's just say, hey, listen, what type of monthly budget are you hoping to stay around? $500. Excellent. Up to what? Now, the reason why you say up to what? Because what some sales reps say, oh man, $500, could you come up with a little bit more? No. Do you have more you got in? No. But one thing I will say is up to what? Because me asking you, do you have more you could pay? Do you have more you could put down? No, that's what they're going to tell you. That's what they're going to tell you. Why? Because they're programmed for those type of questions. That's the same type of question your typical weak salesperson would use. But a skilled sales professional, because good salespeople practice what to say, while great ones practice what to ask. A skilled one is going to say, hey, what type of monthly budget are you hoping to stay around? $500. Awesome. Up to what? With that pen right on the paper, just waiting. And they may say, $525. Who cares? That's $25 more you got a month towards the monthly budget. What if they say $600? Awesome. That's an extra $100 that you got to be able to help this person. And the phrase up to or up to what is so uncommon that the average consumer isn't programmed how to respond. It's like somebody saying, can I help you? People from all over the country that have never met will respond the exact same way in that situation. Why? Because it's programmed. But when you say up to or up to what, a person will roll off a number. Now, if they come back at you with the same exact number, they may have been telling the truth. That may have been real, okay? And that's a possibility. Sometimes they may have been straight shooting. But it don't matter if they increase $5, $10, $100. Closed mouths don't get fed. So when you say up to what, acknowledge it first. Awesome. Up to what? With that pen ready? And they say, well, $550. Excellent. Okay. Now, when you get into it about the initial investment, most people say, hey, what would you like to put down as a down payment? They say $500 and just leave it there. Say, listen, as far as your initial investment, okay, what type of initial investment are you hoping to stay around? $1,000. Good deal. Up to what? $1,500. Cool. So I got my monthly budget up. and my initial investment up. And every extra little bit just helps this person. It has nothing to do with personal gain for myself right now. It really is to make it easier for them, because online they're telling them to come in and lowball and don't give any information. And then when the management go to submit it, there's a problem. No, what I'm doing is asking the right questions and getting them to open up to me so I can have enough information so that when we do put it through, we can minimize the amount of time they have to be there. We can go directly to the management, can go directly to the correct leaders, and we can rock and roll that way. Okay, so never leave it to chance. Whenever somebody just throws out that number, awesome, excellent, or good deal, up to what? Okay, make sure we hitting that like button when we coming in, y'all. Thanks, and I'm gonna get to these comments, so bear with me. I want to make sure I push through this. And so, we want to make sure that we ask, okay, up to what? All right, so now they give that number. When it comes to the color, okay, you want to make sure that when you're addressing the color, that you don't say, are you looking for red? Are you looking for blue? Are you looking for this, that, the other? You're looking for, hey, are you looking for a light, medium, or dark color vehicle? Too many times, sales rep will ask a person what specific color they want, and then guess what they do? That now you just gave them an out. You just gave them a reason why they can object. Because if they say red, how many shades of red are there? If they say blue, how many different shades of blue? And then if you don't have red or if you don't have blue, guess what? Oh, I was going to buy it today, but wasn't going to do it because you didn't have that. So I decided that I was getting out of here. Okay. But when you ask, are you looking for a light, medium, or dark color? What that does now, that expands the options. Okay. So if they are looking for a dark, that could be dark black, dark blue, that could be dark green. It could be a number of different things. If they are looking for a light, it could be white, it could be cream, it could be yellow, it could be what have you. It expands your options rather than restricts your options. Remember that. So don't ask them what specific color they want. Ask them, are they looking for a light, medium, or dark color? Okay. Same thing with the current vehicle that they're driving in. If they have a vehicle and you see them riding in and, hey, listen, what type of vehicle is that you drove in with? It's a 2016 Tahoe. Awesome. Are you interested in selling that? Because we may be interested in buying it. I had a couple of people asking about something similar to that the other day. Are you interested in selling it? Now, you may say, well, what the hell are you talking about, Brian? This is where people get into the trade, okay? The reason why customers buck on the trade so much, because think about what a trade means. If I'm going to exchange you my drink for your drink, I'm pretty sure you're hoping that it has equal or greater value. You're not going to want to trade me my half drink for your full drink. That's not a fair trade. That's not even a trade. That's an exchange. So when a customer comes in and automotive industry uses the term trade, so they give up their vehicle that they had to get this other vehicle. And typically what they get from the dealership is way less than what they owe when they leave out. So it's not a trade. What it really is a buy and sell situation. But remember, words have power. And sales is psychological. And every customer is used to hearing trade, 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 trade. And it creates resistance. But when you say, hey, are you interested in selling that? Because we may be interested in buying it. I get people asking about a truck similar to that all the time. I can be real simple if you're interested. Well, yeah, I'm interested. Excellent. I'm going to get one of our managers who's really awesome. He's going to take a look at it and we'll at least share with you what we may be willing to buy it for. Now, what this does in their mind subconsciously, and I've had general managers and owners of dealership and customers say that when they went through this part of it, they didn't even necessarily feel that same resistance that they had before when talking about a trade. But the automotive industry is the slowest changing industry ever. We still doing the same crap from 20, 30 years ago. Even the people that work in the dealership, you still have reps that are coming in and just winging it. They don't want to spend any time training. They definitely not going to invest any resources in themselves. And you know what? They have up and down, and then they run back into a 9-to-5 job, which is paying them shit money, and they complain or they say, oh, I did that before. No, with so much information at our fingertips, 20, 30 years ago, if you were struggling in sales at your dealership, you could only learn from the people next to you. Now, man, it's so much great, valuable information available, maybe only from a select few who are really getting it in, but it's still out here. It's still there to help you just perform better. But as far as in this business, the word trade versus, looking interested in buying and selling is so different. So when you're talking to a person, hey, listen, are you interested in selling that SUV? Because we may be interested in buying it. Matter of fact, I get people asking about something like yours all the time. You interested? Well, yeah, awesome. Well, I can get one of the managers to take a look at it. They're all really, really good at what they do, and we'll at least tell you what we may be willing to buy it for. Okay, so now as you're going through and in the mix of this, you want to make sure if they are married, find out the wife's name. If they have children, are they boys, are they girls? What's the ages in their name? No one will resist you for that. But here's why that's important. Because when they do give you all the information and you are showing them a vehicle, as opposed to saying you and your wife or you and your kids, imagine if you say, hey, you and Jessica. And when Steve Jr., Thomas, and little Jewel, when y'all are riding it. And now if I'm getting them to paint a mental picture, I'm using the actual names to make the picture that much clearer, to make it simpler for them to be able to comprehend and get who this is for and what it's about. As opposed to being generic, I'm going to be specific. And people love to talk about their kids and their significant others. So don't think you're being too personal. Matter of fact, if you're not asking it, you're not being personal enough. Okay? We owe it to them. Let a customer tell us to tone it down, not us tell ourselves, because we don't even know them. So who are we to say what's too personal, what's not? And at the end of the day, we didn't ask them for their social security number. We didn't ask them for their bank code or for their PIN code on their card. We're asking them about the people that they care about the most that's going to be enjoying this ride with them. That's what this is about, okay? So you have to be personal. So once you get that information, now what you want to do is recap. Hey, listen, if I understand you correctly, and I believe that I do, what you're looking for is this, was that, is this, is that, is this, is that. Are we on the right track? Yeah, awesome. So then now, okay, listen, I believe, based on what you told me, I believe I have exactly what you're looking for. So I want to make sure, one, that it's still here. I don't want to get you all excited and then it's gone. Okay, and I'm also gonna get with my manager to make sure that I hit everything and that I didn't miss anything, okay? So in the meantime, I'm gonna get the manager to take a look at your vehicle, let you know what we'll be willing to buy for. If the vehicle is here, we'll get it pulled around and you and I'll take a look at it, all right? Awesome. In the meantime, would you like any coffee, water, hot chocolate until I return? No, good. All right, so you wanna recap it with them, explain to them what's going on. You know what I mean? Get that bad boy pulled up and let them know you want to check and make sure it's still there, because it just might not be. Okay? Little things mean a lot. Little things carry you a long way. And when you present that vehicle, you start off at that hood and you work your way around. And you don't have to be this super duper highly technical person. Some of the most basic things can be explained in a big way. Like the fact that the headlight covers are made with the same material that they make motorcycle helmets out of. And you can explain how once upon a time, if you were riding behind a truck and a rock skipped up from the tire and it went and it hit that doggone light, it would crack it or it would break it. Or when it was using other material like glass, it would crack it or would break it. Or how when it rained, it would get water on the inside of the lighting panel. But now with this material that are made out of the same material as motorcycle helmets, if that rock does skip, bam, it'll hit that material, bounce right off of it, your bulb and your lens and everything is good. When it does rain, this protection keeps the vehicle covered up and you're good to go, all right? This is really what you want to do. Explain little things in a very big way, all right? And utilize that. Now, I didn't want to hold you on here too long because we do have a whole nother part to it that we get up into where when you're actually on the demonstration drive, and when you're actually coming back with the customer, and one of the most important, when you actually getting into presenting numbers and delivering the vehicle. We're going to touch on that in the next podcast that I'll be doing tomorrow. But in the meantime, the fact that you stayed on here with me, I greatly appreciate it. But if you're looking for those discovery questions, if you're sick and tired of sitting at your store waiting on lot traffic to come to you, if you don't want the managers all in your business, if you're sick of having to split deals with somebody, you know, if you want to stay motivated and stay upbeat, and figure out what you have to do to win at your store. If you want all of these things, I highly encourage you that within the description of this video right here, there is a link. And what it carries you over to, it takes you over to the Ultimate Online Automotive Sales Training Program. Okay, and I'm gonna post the link right there. Okay, oh, let me give you the actual link. I'm gonna give you the link to it. And within it, number one, the actual sales training manual that is there for you to download to your phone takes you through not just every step of the process, but the psychology behind it. It has all of the discovery questions, the personal ones that will help you establish a level of rapport with your customer you've never seen before. Inside the actual online portion, number one, when you download it, you own it. You can access it whenever you want. It'll be made available to you immediately. You download that information. It has over 3.5 hours of actual training video on every step in the process, complete with the word tracks if you're looking for what to say. Also included in it are the videos, which also is the audio program, which takes you through the entire road to the sale. Whatever training you were wishing you got at your dealership, right now available with this ultimate online sales training program. You do have access to it, okay? And at the end of the day, you can get started and literally start putting those things, into your arsenal at your dealership as quickly as today. If you're sick and tired of waiting for customers to come up to your dealership, inside of it is also the program of how to drive Facebook leads. It takes you through not just the description of what it is, but every step on how you can set it up right now, and you can start leveraging people to your media page, to your phone, to ask for you, looking to buy a vehicle from you. Okay, it's available there. As a matter of fact, I got a message from a guy yesterday that said that he got started on it, and literally within hours, he had customers that were already messaging him, and he just followed one step of it. He didn't even go through the entire program yet. He just used one step. Here's the link for you right there. Go over and check it out. Also, as far as being motivated, because this is big, there is over 100 success tips available in 10 videos. If you have children, if you have a spouse, this is something excellent for you to watch with them, for you and them to be a part of, okay? So not only do you have the actual automotive sales training, and if you think I share something with you in these videos, imagine when you have 3.5 hours of the real of what it takes. Then you have the Facebook training. Then you have the sales training manuals. Then you have the 100 success tip videos. You also have over 40 word tracks telling you how to deal with, I want to talk to my spouse. I need to shop around. I want to think about it. The price is too high. I want more for my trade. We also have inside of there is the online traffic surge, which helps you with Snapchat, Instagram. You also have the How to Dominate YouTube training book inside of the program. And when you join, you become a member of the Platinum Inner Circle, where you, myself, and other hard-hitting high producers around the country, you go through a one-on-one coaching session with me 4 times a month. Okay, all of that is included in this program. I sell right now at events, or when I go into a dealership, a part of their package is $997. But literally, you click that link right now, you'll go over and you'll see you literally get it for a freaking fraction of that in 1 month, for less than 1 cup of coffee a day, for less than 1 Red Bull a day, for 1 month. Is what it would take for you to be able to start enjoying this program. And not only does it help you make money right now, you know how to make money for the rest of your life. It's bigger than just right now, and it's yours. You access it immediately. You'll get an email from me to schedule and set up our call, and we get to rocking and rolling. But it's the same thing like we tell our customers. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. If you're looking for how to make more money, if you're looking how to increase your performance, you know where that 9 to 5 trail leads. And right now, you are in a position where you give yourself a pay raise or a pay cut anytime you feel like it. And this is not something that we leave to chance. This is your life that we're talking about. And you owe it to yourself and those that are dependent on you. My thing to people is this: for less than $100, if somebody told you for less than $100, you can learn how to make 100,000, what would you do? And what I'm guaranteeing you right now is for less than $100, you can learn how to make 100,000, over 100,000 right now. And to show you I put my money where my mouth is, I've given a 90-day money-back guarantee on it. Where if you're going through it and you using it and you rocking with it, you haven't seen your results increase, you haven't seen your money change, I will give you every single cent back. That is my commitment to you. If you've been coming to YouTube, watching the videos, you know it's real. And those of you that have been following me and have invested, you know what this program has done for you. And if you are a skeptic, I get it. By all means, you need to be skeptical of people out here. But real, always recognize real. And if you've heard what some of the things I've said and it connected with you and it resonated with you, as intelligent as you are, imagine what the information will do that I have really stored, where I took the errors out, through all of the good, mixed it up in a pot of gumbo and making it available for the super achievers who are looking to be extraordinary people. Because that's all, an extraordinary person is an ordinary person that does a little bit extra. The fact that I'm able to earn like I earn and live like I live, you can do it too. But just follow these steps. So click that link. I listed it over there. Click the link in the description, but let me get to some of these questions too. Let's go to it. All right. Oh yeah, I see you, Nandu. Thank you. Nandu said the scripts are amazing. Listen, man, people are really doing this. So let me roll through here. Rasheen, what's up, brother? We got Virginia in the house. Let me see. Hey, what's going on, Audi City? Sean McDavid, how do I keep customers walking out when they say, I don't want to buy today? Number one is if you've sat down with a customer and they're still interested in walking out, there was something there as far as with your connection that didn't work. And a simple way for you to find out a little bit about where they are is asking simple questions like, hey, how long have you all been looking? What places have you looked at? And how soon do you think you're going to be, ready to looking to make a decision or make a move? Okay, you can ask these fairly early. All right, and when you ask these questions early, how long have you all been looking? Where else have you looked? And how soon do you feel it'll be before you're ready to make a decision? These are three questions that you can factor in early to kind of help get you a better understanding of what's going on. And then at the end, if they still say not looking to buy today, and that's where you can really narrow it down. I get it. Earlier when we spoke, when I asked you, how long you have been looking and how soon you can make a decision, you said you found something you like, you'd be ready to make a decision. And so I kind of just want to cover something real fast. When somebody tell me they want to continue looking, it boils down to one of three things. It's either it's not the right fit, doesn't have the right features, or it's the finances. So help me just narrow it down to just understand exactly what it is for you. As far as the vehicle, you said you like the vehicle. Is this the right fit for you? Yeah, okay, awesome. Now the features, as far as that Bluetooth, that rear dash cam, these airbags as far as protecting your kids. Did this vehicle have the right features for you? Yeah. Okay, well, thirdly, is it the finances? And you want to narrow it down and isolate it. But don't just give up when they say that. So when a person's saying that they just willing to walk out on you, somewhere along the way, man, you really got to make sure. People think rapport is a step in the process, and it's not. Rapport is something that we build when we make eye contact with somebody. And that's why the personal side of the conversation has got to overpower and overshadow the technical part of the conversation about that piece of plastic or metal. Because think about it like this, that vehicle is a piece of plastic or metal. It's an inanimate object that does nothing without human interaction. So when we spend all our time talking just about that, but we fail to spend our time talking about the human being that makes the decision, that makes the investment into the pieces of plastic or metal, that works them, that moves them, when we fail to focus more on them than we do the plastic or metal, that personal connection is gone. And think about it like this. When you have somebody that you respect or that you like, you don't just get up and walk out on them, especially if they haven't done anything to piss you off. So if a person feels comfortable, saying they don't want to do nothing, getting up, walking out, somewhere along the way, you all lost the personal connection part. You lost that part. And what you want to do is you want to just make sure that you focus in on that before even getting super in depth about that piece of plastic or metal. Find out who you're dealing with, man. Put that pen down, kick back, and start having a conversation. And when it's relevant, something to write, and you write. But you speak with people. People buy from people who they like and who they trust. And people don't care how much we know until they know how much we care. And so if they're walking out, I think it has less to do about any pricing or availability. It has more to do with the likability and just how welcomed or, they felt how welcoming you were, keep getting in trouble for letting them go too easy. Yeah. And that's all. And that happens in the beginning. That happens in the beginning. And 9 times out of 10, Sean, if you really think about what I'm saying, ask yourself, just how personal are you getting with these folks? You know what I mean? Where are y'all conversations at? Is it automotive related? Do you find yourself having those dead air spots where it's that uncomfortable silence with them? Do you find yourself going through that? Because if you do, that'll make it easy for a person to walk out. Sometimes the customer want to get the hell out of there because they're bored to death. And that's a real deal thing. If you're boring them and not exciting them, listen, in this game, in sales, you have to be somewhat of an actor. Now, this right here, what you get from me, you've seen the clips of me training in front of people or sitting down just talking with my friends like I'm doing right now. This is me. 95%, this is me. The other 5% is, when I'm with my grandson or with my children, I might have had a beer or something and I'm feeling the influence and I'm just, kind of letting loose that little extra 5%. But this is me. But until you have developed your skill set or who you are as a professional, till you develop that part of of who you are. You have to remember you're an actor. When you put on that doggone shirt to go into your store, you're a professional. And I challenge everybody to ask yourself, who is your professional self? Because your professional self has got to be different than your home self. Who is your professional self? What do they eat? What do they read? What do they do? How do they dress? What are their goals? What are their aspirations? You see, the thing with people and goals is not they aim too high and then they miss them. It's that we set them too low and we hit them. It amazes me when I meet people that truly believe that in this life you can get something for nothing. You're not going to learn how to make 100,000, half a million, or $1 million just off nothing. No, it requires time. It requires financial investment for something to learn how to make $1 million. Because if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And so when I meet people that are struggling financially and saying how they can't afford stuff, my thing is always, how can you afford not to? If you think something is too expensive for you today, at the rate that the country is going, the gap between the haves and the have-nots is getting wider. It ain't getting closer. And so if it's a struggle for somebody to invest in themselves today, imagine where it's going to be 5 years from now. And I tell folks all the time, it's like all of the people that we have on this chat right now, on this live right now, out of this group, 15% of you, which means if there's 100 of you, 15 of you are going to take advantage of every opportunity you get, especially the ladies. The ladies have really been rocking it, man. They've been jumping in, they have been joining, and they are kicking ass at their store. 15 out of 100 people that watch this video, 15 out of every 100 will do whatever they can to invest the time, the resources to improve and increase themselves. The other 85% won't. And in 5 years from now, if I ran into that 85% group that does nothing, but just say, oh man, ain't got time for that, but they keep Netflix, they got the newest cell phone, they go out to eat every day, but they bitch and moan about their money. If I run into them in 5 years, guess what? It's going to be the same song. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if y'all know what this is. I know you know. The world's smallest violin. And when I hear them stepping up to me with that, I say, man, go get some cheese with that wine. Because I ain't even trying to hear it. But the people who do what I call short-term pain for long-term gain, these are the ones that when I run into them, which I do all the time, run into them 5 years later, and man, they're like, dude, I was nervous at the time. I didn't know if I could trust it, didn't know what to do. But something in me, when I was looking at your videos, I could see the passion, I could hear it. I made that decision, and it's one of the best choices they ever did. You've been following me now for a bit, and you know, but if you really are looking to sell your way to another level, whether it be sell your way to being a finance director, sell your way to being a desk manager, sell your way to being a general manager, sell your way to even starting your own business doing something else. Because think about it, in this business, when you learn the skill to help somebody make a big ticket buying decision like this, you can do anything. Because how many products are there out there that's $20, $30, $40, $50,000? If you can do this, you can do anything. And I'm not foolish enough to expect people to fill out their retirement paperwork with the dealership on it. But what I am saying is that while you're there, learn how to break the bank legally, ethically, and morally. Only a fool will learn from their own experiences, while a wise person will learn from the experience of others. So make sure you click the link in that description. Go on over, check it out, get started. You no longer can complain and blame the managers for not training you. You can't blame and complain about anybody else, because I'm giving you opportunity to take control of your life. Like I've had to do, like many others, and I tell you, it's the most freeing feeling in the world. Because I know I put in the effort and the time to earn what it is that I have right now. And if an idiot like me can go from where he was evicted, struggling, was one of the worst salespeople at my dealership almost 20 years ago, to where now I'm paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to travel all around the US, speak to people all around the world, speak at automotive conferences, go into colleges to speak. I'm a best-selling author of 3 books that are available online. This is my life today. But from where I came from, college dropout, bouncing around job to job, struggling, evicted, to be here, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I always stress to people, you can sell like the other people in your store. You can learn how to sell your way out of it, some way to success if you like. And yes, can it hurt sometimes making that time investment of reading, listening to stuff, or even having to invest a couple dollars in something? What seems like it hurts you now, you'll be thankful for later. Because if you think that small output hurts you now, imagine when it's a big output later, what it's going to do. And you have the opportunity right now to change your life. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in chance. And the fact that you and I are here together right now, sharing this time and space, I know what you're going through. I know the frustration. I know the ups and downs with the money. You're not by yourself, which is why coming from where I've come from, this is put together specifically for you. You've been looking for help. That's why you've been coming and watching these. And I'm giving it to you in the best form that I know how, which is taking the information that's been stored in my mental Rolodex, laying it out, bottling it up, and making it available to you. So click that link in the description, click the link in the chat. Matter of fact, I'll post it again. I'll share it again. And that's a special offer. This program typically sells for $1,000. It's literally for a limited time, for a very limited time, because we're making it available for a fraction. And my account goes crazy. But what I tell him is, listen, man, we do well. We're blessed in many other avenues. You know, how can I encourage people to improve their life if I don't make it easy for them? It's kind of like the person that can't afford to go to college but always really wanted to go. Imagine if they were given the opportunity to go for free. They might not really appreciate it. But if they know they can go to a college that might cost $20,000 a year, but they could go for, let's just say, $2,500, they would jump on that with both feet. So yes, they still have some skin in the game, but it's nowhere near what it would have cost them any other way. That's what this is like for you. Okay, you get access to $1 million worth of game for less than $100. Less than 100. And like I say, the cool thing in it for you is not just one time. This is yours for life. And if you have children, what better gift can we give to our children than to teach them how to sell their way into a better career, how to sell their way into a good relationship, how to stay positive when life throws those obstacles in front of us. What better way to show our appreciation and love for our significant other or spouse than to giving them and sharing information with them on how they can sell their way into a better career, how they can sell their way to our relationship improvement so they can make more money for the family. This isn't something that you as an individual, you can share with your mother, share with your father, with your brothers, your sisters, with your friends, with your team members at your dealership. But you got to put one foot in front of the other. And remember, the longest journey starts with one step. I got the roadmap for you. The only thing I'm unable to do is put the shoes on and take the step for you. But it's right here available. All right. And even where we went through today, that and so much more in greater detail are within the manual, are within the videos. So remember, you get the online automotive sales training, how to dominate at the dealership. Over 3.5 hours of audio and video. You get the sales training manual, which you can download to your phone, you can reference, you can use, has the discovery questions, has every step, has the psychology behind it, has how you do a powerful presentation. So your walk around just blows the doors off of it. All of that's made available to you in there. Also, you have the how to drive Facebook leads, which you can implement immediately, which is over 3.5 hours of audio and video of how to set it up, how to start driving people that are interested in your brand to your social media page or to your cell phone looking to buy from you. You have that available. You also have the 100 success tips, 10 videos of listed with 10 steps on each one of what it takes to stay motivated, be successful, and thrive in today's economy. You also have access to the online traffic surge program, which is over 2 hours of how to leverage your Snapchats, Instagram to drive people to your Instagram page or to your cell phone looking to buy from you. You also relieve how to dominate YouTube ebook. That's available. And then also there's an hour-long sales training, online sales training that was done a while back that was actually a paid training that you have accessible to you within it. So you literally have over 10 hours of audio and video. You have sales training manuals. You have manuals for the Facebook lead. You have manuals, sales training manual for the automotive sales training. You have manual for the actual YouTube training. You have checklists. And you and I will work in a coaching session together multiple times a month. That's my commitment. And you know, all I ask for in return is just a testimonial letter showing how well you're doing. Those text messages telling me how you never made this much money in your life in 1 month. This is what I do it for, okay? And by you and I locking in together, we become friends for life. You know, that's the goal. If everyone around me is rich, then, you know, I have a real excellent network in the circle. And my goal is to help people become financially independent, not financially secure. I don't even know what that means, because a billionaire is not financially secure. Please believe they terrified of losing that money, but financially independent, okay? But other than that, man, I really do appreciate you all taking time out with me. Make sure you click the link in the description. Make sure you like, share this video. You know, you get all the drama videos. I'm getting tired of people that be sharing bullshit information and they getting all of this doggone shares and stuff like that. We don't bring drama here. We help each other learn how to make money, improve each other's quality of lives. Okay. And way my life is enriched is by watching other people who get started in a program transform their lives. While I'm traveling around, I end up running into people, stopping into their stores, and hopefully that ends up happening with you and I. But in the meantime, if you're unable to get me, if I haven't been in your store physically, guess what? You have access to the information right now. So click that link in the description or click the link in the chat. Looks like we've already had 7 people that have gone over and got started. So I typically work with people in blocks of 30. I don't know how many spots do I have left for this next 30 block? 4. Okay, I got 4 spots still available for the next 30 blocks. So click the link in the description, go on over, do everything through your PayPal. You can download it immediately, instantly. You have access to it the entire time, and you'll get an email from me within 24 hours. You know, getting the best contact number and send it up for you and I to be able to get together. You know, other than that, though, again, I appreciate it. Any questions y'all got before I chat up out of here? I told y'all while I've been in town, I've been doing as many lives as possible because I'm gonna be right back out. Hey, no doubt, Joshua, you're welcome, my brother. But click that link in the description or in the side of the chat. Go on over, get started, register, download. You and I get rocking and rolling. Let's put some hustle behind that muscle. But other than that, hey, I hope all is well. I look forward to catching you next time. I'll be back on here live tomorrow. Like I said, my mother's flying in, but we're not leaving to go to Disney and everything or Universal Studios till Monday. And see, that's the bit of get started in the program because you too can put yourself in a situation to where you can, you know, schedule your work around your life. But it all started for me on that showroom floor, and everything I'm sharing with you in this program are the things that I still use to this day when I'm interacting with my clients who just so happen to own the dealer groups and the dealerships that many of you work at. It just works. Good is good and right is right. And real recognize real. So if you're sick and tired of walking over the dollars to pick up dimes, click that link. It's not that hard of a decision. For less than $100, you can learn how to make yourself $100,000, not just 1 year, but for life. And this is just the beginning. This is the tip of the iceberg for you and I on this journey. Because my objective by the time I'm 45 to generate $20 million net a year by providing services to the automotive industry on an even grander scale. Okay, that's my objective. What are yours? But within this program, within this information, are keys that can help you unlock the doors to your pathway, to your success. I'm on my path. I want to help you get yours. All right. So other than that, man, if you like, still leave a comment. Please put a comment. You know, that's how YouTube does. Make sure you liked it. Shoot me a question if you have any. Hey, my pleasure, Kenya. You know, all respect due to you. And I'm looking at the names on here. Thank you, Carter. I appreciate that as far as for the information. As far as those that I see you on here, we had another. We got 3 spots available now. So click that link in the description. Go on over. Let's get started. I'll get the notification. You'll get the email from me, and you and I'll be rocking together. But other than that, it's been a pleasure. And I got love for all of y'all, man. Thank you so much, family. And in the future, just to let you all know, I do have something special coming. Man, I've been having people talk to me about it, but t-shirts and hats will be available. You know, selling is a way of life, you know, and selling to survive. The t-shirts and the sweatshirts. We want people to know that what we do, we're sales professionals. If people can wear ball teams and all of this other stuff, we're going to start repping our craft. You know, sales is a way of life. Selling to survive. We got some other really cool stuff coming, but that's down the road. So other than that, click that link in the description. Get started. You'll get the message from me, and you and I get to rocking together. Other than that, team, as always, Brian Maxwell signing over and out, and I will see you at the dealership, folks. Be good.